Just made a video a few minutes ago. Hang on a minute. And I realised what I'd done. I realised what I did wrong. I had the coil wrong. I was wrapping the coil around like this. And in my mind, I created the layout for the coil completely different. And I realised what I'd done. Let me just get my phone stand a minute. I'll show you what. It'd be a lot easier if I stick my phone in the stand. So let's show you the way it's supposed to be. Let me just get my phone in here a minute. Right. Be easier if I do it hands-free. Right, so when I was cutting this out, it messed me up. It confused me a bit. And that's probably why I messed up, because I'd gone and cut this wrong. So what I need to do is, first of all, get this cut right, and then I can show you exactly what I mean, because it won't fit right now. So if I cut this bit out of here, this is representing the coil, by the way. Get them bits off there like that, because I can't cut paper with one hand on a phone. And I'll cut this one like this. This is just to show you what the coil has to be wound like. And in this particular shape, otherwise it won't work. Well, it will work better once I've done it. So imagine, still not right, there's a bit in there I need to trim out. I always like to start with cardboard when I'm trying to work out the coil size, because when you fold stuff and then you unfold it, it messes. It's very hard to work it out how big the coil has to be, but by doing a bit of cardboard it makes life so much easier. So that previous video that I just made literally a few minutes ago, I screwed up big time, because it's been a long night. I'm kind of tired. I've got to go and sort things out today as well. I've got things to do, so I have my mind on other things. Right, so instead of the coil, going around like that, which is the wrong way, we actually wind it like, and then it goes like that in a V shape, like this. That's the way it would work. So let me just do an end view. So the coil would be wound and then folded, so the coil at the bottom and the top are intersecting the fields. So we'd have a flat area in the middle right here, so this bit in the middle would be a bit flat, so I need to shape this right. So bend that back like this, so I'm not on camera all the time. I keep forgetting that the camera's a bit low down, and fold that back a bit like that, because we have a dead spot in the middle because of the magnets being there, so we have to bend these. We have to get the shape just right, otherwise it's not going to be efficient. You see, the theory is, and I'll explain it again, this is why I went off track. The magnet is entering this coil, right? Imagine this is flat, right? If you have a south field coming through, and you have a north field coming through at the same time, what does that do? It cancels it out, doesn't it? That's why it's got to be like this. So what we have, when we fold it like this, what we effectively have is a north field coming in this way, and we can't have a north field leaving at the same time because it would cancel out, and we don't, because my generator design, this prototype has different fields. So when a north field is entering at this point here, a south field is actually leaving at this point. So we actually have in phase power generation on both the exit and the entry at the same time, and it's in phase, so it doesn't cancel itself out. So the coil would sit on some kind of mounting system, which I have to sketch up, and it would sit right about like that. Alright, so that when it's carrying the coil, this simulated coil with it. Alright, let's get in the middle. Alright, you'll see what I mean then. get this right in the middle, right, what we have here is, we have, I get my little paintbrush to point. What we have now is this side of the lamination is carrying the field, the magnetic flux from this magnet assembly at this point here, and it's moving relative to the laminations, so it's a moving core. So these laminations will carry this pole exiting this coil, and these magnets here are carrying this pole towards into the coil. So in actual fact that would be in phase because they're different poles. Whereas if it was the same pole, it would cancel out. You see what I'm getting at? Because if you're entering and exiting with two poles at the same time, normally it would cancel itself out. But because these are different poles, alternate poles, and the middle point, as we know, is a null spot, it's dead, which is why we have the coil in a straight line there, because you don't want to harvest any field from that in that line there. We want the coil to be flat there at that point, because it's right next to the magnets as well. So the only part that will generate power is the coil that's coming down here, the part that's coming down here, and the part that's on the edge of the rotor here and here. So everything from this point here all the way around to the back will actually be generating power, and everything from this point all the way around to this corner will also be generating power. Oops. Right, and that would be more efficient than having just a coil sitting on the outside here, because we're actually generating power from both poles as it moves through that axis. As this, yeah, I can't move this with this paper's cardboard's a bit too close to the drum and it keeps dragging it. So, but you get the idea as it's moving. And obviously, when this is in that position, there's no core material in it. So at that point, it becomes air cored. So it's air cored at this point here, because there's nothing in the coil, and then it has core material, moving core material, through carrying the flux lines through the coil at that point, all the way through. Okay, I've explained it now. I've got it right this time, because I was trying to work it out in my head and I kind of messed up when I was trying to do it in real life. When you're trying to work something out in your head, you see it in a certain way, and it's hard to visualize it in your mind in a three-dimensional way. Everything kind of flat. Then you model it and then you think, that doesn't look right. And then you think, I've got it wrong way around. It's so easy to do. All you have to do is flip it around like that, you know. So anyway, I explained it now. So I need to get my phone out of here. Come out, you bugger, without pressing any buttons, because my other print just finished and I need that to come off the print bed. I've been trying to get it off and it was too hot. You've got to let the print bed cool a bit. See if I can get it off now. Printer's moving, printer's sliding. Just can't seem to get it off, it's still too hot. What usually works is some alcohol. Put my light on and get some alcohol on it. Spray some alcohol on the base and it should come off. It cools it down so quickly that it shrinks off the bed. I think that stinks. At least I won't get COVID with that. I'll tap it with a hammer now. I don't want to break my printer. Oh shit, it came off anyway. It's gone down the back there now. If I can find it now. Oh, shit, I'm knocking everything off. Yeah. Something fell on the floor, I don't know what it was. I can't see it. Where's it gone? Oh, it's right over there. The things I do for science. Where are you? It's down here somewhere. Right, got it. Right, I've got to start another print now. I've got another one to do. So this is acetone. Just wipe the top of the bed with some ABS plastic and acetone. Makes everything stick so it doesn't come off the bed, because it doesn't stick very well to aluminium. And oops. Right, this is the last one I need to print. Turn my thing off. So I've got two of these now. Two of the new ones. Oh, I was thinking about what happens when I decide to scale all of this up to a bigger drum. At some point I'm going to want to scale this up to a larger size. If I do that, I want to be able to still use these in the larger drums, so they would be slightly offset, as in I would have to make it so that they would still fit the larger drum, so that I'd have basically bigger spaces between them. If I ever scaled it up to a larger drum size, which would be an advantage because I can get much bigger magnets on the middle, much more powerful flux on the center core. I could make the hub bigger as well, you see, at some point, but for the moment I'm trying to keep everything small for testing and experimentation. Plus I can use smaller coils, and eventually if I make a larger drum, I might still be able to use the same coils actually. They would just have to be bent and shaped a little bit differently. But if I have a larger circumference of a drum, I could have more segments. Instead of 3 segments, I could have 6 segments, for example. So I use the same ones, but I'd have six positions for magnets instead of 3. Yeah, I was thinking about ways of scaling it up at some point, because I'm thinking ahead, you see, as well, while I'm designing this stuff, because I'd rather be able to reuse all this stuff, just like I've reused all my bobbins in all these different generators. This is what I usually do. I think, well, can I use that in something else? And I think, well, if I keep it a certain size, I should be able to do. And I'm kind of trying to avoid having to rewind coils, but unfortunately with this particular one, it's definitely got to be a custom coil wound for it, because it's a completely different way it works. Yeah, so obviously having static flux constantly coming out of the hub might pose a little problem, but I don't think it's going to be a big problem, because the flux lines themselves are going to be shifted and manipulated by the laminations that are moving through the coil. So yeah, it should work good. I'll have to make sure that when I do one, I make it bigger than this flipping piece of cardboard, because it's way too small. It wants to be close, but not that close. It's so close that it's actually, it'll sit on the damn drum like that and will fall off. That's how close that is. So yeah. Right, okay, I kind of fixed the problem with my mind, with my getting this wrong way around. Duh. Well, it does happen, yeah. Sometimes you get things and then you think, what the hell? It was so clear in my mind, and now I'm messed up. And then I realised after I finished the video, I thought, no, I did. So I thought I'd better go and make another video quick, explain it. Yeah, that was the way I was visualizing it, visualizing it anyway, like that. Because that's effectively like a magnet moving through a coil, actually through a coil, moving through a coil, which normally is impossible normally, because of the problem of cancellation as it leaves. But because of this because the pole switch halfway through, it makes it possible. So I suppose, yeah. Anyway, I'm going. Bye for now.